that's the way he needs to be driven to win a race like this or to run on the money like this. He opened at $41. What is it, $9 on the tote, and he's around about $8 on the book. There's been significant money for him. He was luckless last start. He got 5 back on the fence. Forget he went round. He's been the big mover in the last 12 months. And if he steps and follows the right one, I don't think he can lead all the way over 2 miles. If he follows the right one, he's up to being in the money. All right, plenty of Southerners up here tonight. Some of them couldn't make it. It's Tim White's wedding today, so congratulations to you, Tim and Julianne. They're at the Winton Racecourse, so I'm sure they're tuned in to Alexandra Park for the Row Cup tonight. Stent, the 3 in the book. By Dream Vacation, of course, he's had an amazing season. Colin DeFilippi takes the reins, trains with his wife Julie, and a few moments ago we caught up with CJ to hear his charge at field over the last week. Colin, his performance last week, I know he's had some great career moments, but that was right up there.
Yeah, disappointing to get beaten, Greg, but you couldn't have asked any more of him.
He did plenty of work in that race. Just how did he bounce back? How was he in the days immediately after that run?
Well, you're always a wee bit scared a run like that's going to take a bit out of him, Greg, and I was probably looking for it, and I thought for a couple of days he was a wee bit tired. But in the last couple of days he seems like he's bounced back pretty good, so all in all, pretty happy with him.
He's got a nice barrier of 3. I've just noticed in his last few starts, he knows when it's race night now, doesn't he? He gets on his toes. Do you have any concerns about the standing start? It's never been a problem in the past, but there'll be a few horses in and around you tonight.
For sure, yeah. I think what will help him is that there's only the one line in the 2 unrulies, Greg, so hopefully he won't be standing too long. If they're not mucking around too long, he can begin good, but if he's standing too long, he can let you down.
He's a versatile horse. You've got options as far as how the race pattern unfolds, so that gives you some confidence as well.
Oh, yeah, no, I've got faith in the horse, and we just need a wee bit better run than last week. Saying that, Row Cups are never easy to win, Greg.
Been discussed on a number of occasions, Craig, his ability over the 2 miles. I want to go back to the Row Cup of a couple of years ago, though. He missed away and he flashed home for 5th, so I really don't concur that he's not at his best over 2 miles.
I also think you look at his performance during the Dominion Handicap, Greg, after they diagnosed the problem they had. They diagnosed the problem they had with him after the Dominion Handicap. He really hasn't gone a bad race since. So tonight will be the true test from over the 2 miles. What you would say is he's had a wonderful season. He's never looked as good as what he is tonight. If anything, he looks very fresh and he's on his toes again, which is a really good sign. That's what he was like about 3 weeks ago when he won at Addington. I think he's the horse to beat, Greg. He is in super form at the moment.
He certainly is, and that's a credit to Colin and Julie DeFilippi keeping him like that. King Denny, we just had a look at before. Natalie Rasmussen trains along with Mark Purdon. Let's hear what she had to say about their trotting stable star. Natalie, we often describe the 4-year-old year as a transition year for the age group horses into free-for-all company, but he's taking that step, King Denny, isn't he?
Oh, he most definitely is. He's a bit of an untractable little guy at times. He has a really long back reach with his back legs, and he does hit the wheels sometimes and he panics. So, longer gig again tonight. So hopefully if he doesn't do that, he should settle. I think he'll find, his presence will be felt there as long as he gets a good trip and he doesn't get over exciting and over race. So it's a big step up for him, but I think he's up to it.
What about the 3,200 metres? How do you think he'll cope with that? Because he is a pretty good staying time.
Look, he'll cope as long as he doesn't pull. If he pulls, I think he'll be all done probably with 400 to go at least. But, if he just relaxes and just can find a nice spot and just relax, I'm sure he'll have no trouble with the distance.
So that was Natalie Rasmussen about King Denny. We'll go back to Mum's Pride. Here's Master Lavros, of course, the defending champion. He won the Dominion of the same year. His build up to this race, he's on the improve, Craig. I like what I've seen of him lately, and if he is able to land in front, particularly of Stent, that makes him a very hard horse to beat.
To be honest, Greg, I've been critical of him in the last 3 months, and rightly so too, because he hasn't lived up to the potential that he's got. He's had excuses. I thought last week suggested to me that he's getting somewhere like he was this day 12 months ago, and that's scary for the opposition, because I think the race depends on how he begins. If he finds the front, I think he can win the race. I think he's in the form that he was in last year, and at $7 or $6, he's good backable each way.
All right, Shimon,
Me too, Aaron. It's a race where some of the greats of all-time harness racing have won. Most recently, of course, Lyle Creek, Take a Moment, La Cucaracha, and the great I Can Do's It. Lucas is the rep from Can-Am. You've stood here with me probably 6 or 7 times, maybe 10 times, 6 or 7 times.
That's right.
The last couple of years, and gee, you presented this trophy to the owners of some great horses. It must be a nice buzz to have a race like this with your name on it.
It is a great honor. It is a great honor because usually we have an amazing group of horses competing, and it's a great event. We're loving it.
Let's talk about Can-Am. It's an interesting time in the building property development business. Everybody seems to want a bit of the action in Auckland. You keeping yourself busy?
Yes, we are. We have quite a bit of work on our books, and we're doing work throughout the North Island and South Pacific, so we're keeping ourselves busy. We're about to start the facility for the Blues, just on the corner there.
That's a cool one. Obviously, the Auckland Blues building their training facility here. I presume that's one where they have very specific needs.
Yes, it is a specialist facility, and we're hoping that is going to help them to perform even better than what they're doing now.
Well, they can't perform much worse, Lucas, to be honest. Let's talk about the race. Have you had a chance to have a bet yourself, or are you here entertaining clients and your staff, of course?
Both. I think this is going to be a very exciting race. And
Master Lavros won it last year. You presented the trophy to him. He's got a good chance, but I suppose we've seen plenty of Stent winning this season, so he deserves to be the favourite, I thought.
Yes, I think Stent has been outstanding, but also Shimon is maybe has some old scores to settle.
He does. He's beat him the last 2 times I've been here. Lucas, on behalf of us at Alexandra Park, thank you for the continued support business-wise and sponsorship-wise from Can-Am. And if the Blues turn the corner next year, we'll know that you guys have been behind it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
That's Lucas from Can-Am, the other sponsors of the Road Cup. They get the big race of the night. There's 4 big ones for the night, but the Road Cup's a beauty. And as Aaron White said, if you love horses or harness racing, it's one of the races you grow up wanting to see every year. Stent is the new millionaire. Best trot on Australasia. Probably. We'll find out shortly. Shimon's got him the last 2 times I've met here at Group 1 level, and Master Lavros is the defending Road Cup champion. It's a beauty. They're down there at the start. Here's Aaron White for the Road Cup.
Love to see this horse win. I just wonder whether it's 12 months too soon for him. I think he's a very progressive trotter. He's made lots of steps in the last probably 3 to 4 months. He's now taking on the big boys. He raced the intermediate grade trot on the first night where he beat Ere I Come decisively. It's another step to the next level tonight. We'll see where he is, Greg. I think he's a very good trotter that will make it. It's whether he's 12 months too early.
All right, what about in one? Your bet in the Road Cup?
I'm going for Stent, Greg. I think he can win the race. I think last week's run was magnificent. If he gets the right run, he's the best horse in the field.
Okay, up to you, Aaron White, for your thoughts around the 2015 Can-Am Road Cup.
I'm going to stick with Stent. Of course, our newest millionaire, Colin De Philippi, is the horse to beat. Master Lavros, he's coming back into form at the right time. He'll defend his crown nicely tonight. Shimon, runner-up in this race last year. Some will say a touch unlucky, of course. It did go to the room between Shimon and Master Lavros, and the up-and-comer 5 Mum's Pride. Donned in the Jules colours, well in the mix here too for owner Frank Weaver and James Stormont, the trainer-driver. 3, 6, 7 and 5.
Thanks for that, Aaron, as we are now over start time for the 4th of our Group 1s here tonight, and the favourite Stent. $2.50 the book, $2.30 is current tote price. $4 and $4.80 effectively for Master Lavros. Shimon, the clear third favourite, ahead of Mum's Pride, who has a lot of strong support as well. Craig, they've all paraded particularly well. None really looking to be getting too hot out there.
No, this is a time-honoured race, Greg. I mean, we go back to horses like Lyle Creek that's won it on 3 occasions. I remember the Iron Horse won it back in 1990. Idle Scott since then. I Can Do's it's won it on 2 occasions. He's got the race record 4:05. That's under threat tonight. Of course, Stig, the War Horse, won it in 2013. And last year, Master Lavros, who's looking to make it back-to-back wins, goes round tonight.
Yeah, he gets a chance to join a very elite group that have won this race on 2 occasions. If indeed he's able to do it tonight, he'll become the 9th horse to do that. About to be called forward by starter Frank Phelan 4.
To go one better than last year in Mum's Pride. Been a real talent coming through the grades as Mum's Pride, as he shows donned in the Jules colours. Thank you, Greg. Yet another great edition of this great race. 2 miles, standing start. Who will get their name on the trophy for 2015? Let's find out. Starter Frank Phelan calls the runners forward. 2015 Can-Am Row Cup. They breast up to the barrier strand. Maybe one or two a bit close. Stent, he's breasted right up against the strand here, so Starter's Attendant comes in, gets him into reverse. Trevor Casey, of course, a part owner in Sky Major, with his Millionaire Trotter here in Stent. Good luck to all the connections. They look about right this time. Now again, a couple of these rubbing the tape. Stents rubbing the tape. Now one over to Moon on the unruly. Kinkasler stands up well. Dr. Hook out wide. So the last Stent to walk around again here and then face up again. Springbank Sam and Alleyway. Alleyway been the subject of some good betting through the day. Out of barrier 2, has one over the 2 miles. Set and ready. 2015 Can-Am Row Cup. Shimon, he's galloped in the early stages here. Shimon yet to come down into a trot, and he's going to put a substantial handicap to him today, and he still hasn't got down into a trot, Shimon, and he's only got about 10 metres to get into a trot, and the others have got away strongly. Stent, he is going to win. Shimon's out of contention, will not switch into a trot here at all. Master Lavros, last year's winner, getting up on the outside of Stent. Way, that'll settle down in third for Matthew Williamson, 3 or 4 lengths away in the field. Springbank Sam, they're followed then by Mum's Pride and the Jules Colours and James Storm on 3 lengths, 1 over to Moon. The Jewel Derby winner from last season and the Jules winner, King Denny, he is the next, followed up by Dr. Hook. Further back, Kinkasler with Flying Icer and Shimon. Well, tickets are confetti on Shimon, last year's runner-up as they sweep across the showgrounds turn. 2,400 left to go, and the big boy, Master Lavros, and the Jones boy, they go on to the lead. They look to defend their Row Cup title of last year. They've got the Millionaire on his back, though, in Stenton, Colin de Philippi, then Alleyway. They have followed Springbank Sam. Mum's Pride looks to come away from the markers as 1 over to Moon and David Butt look to come forward. King Denny and Mark Purden, Kinkasler, John Dunn taking up the leeway against the marker line here. Further back is Dr. Hook, and the last of the winning chances is Flying Icer. Shimon blew it at the start. 2 circuits left to go. 2015 Can-Am Row Cup, and they're on the stables corner. Master Lavros beautifully relaxed in front, a length and a half over. Stent. Alleyway trots along nicely in third. Then came Springbank Sam and Phil Williamson sitting out parked as Mum's Pride giving 1 over to Moon. Beautiful 1-1 cover. Kinkasler on the inside. A length off that was King Denny. Here's Dr. Hook looking to move as they work down to the lead time and complete the first mile. And Flying Icer and Todd McCarthy back last. First mile in 2:4.3. And it's Master Lavros powerfully in front over Stent, who's got his back, and Alleyway with Dr. Hook and Zach Butcher moving forward on the outside. That'll give Mum's Pride beautiful 1-1 cover as they sweep across the showgrounds turn again. Back on the inside, Springbank Sam being covered by 1 over to Moon. King Denny's got on the back of 1 over to Moon. Kinkasler the inside, and Flying Icer still back last, and of course Shimon out of contention with an early gallop. 1,200 left to go. 30.7 was the opening quarter. Master Lavros, the son of Sundon, a length and a half over Stent, the son of Dream Vacation, and our newest millionaire in the harness racing game. He's got the lovely run in the trail. Kinkasler's galloped through the home straight, and she's lost her chance now. Stables corner. Dr. Hook is parked. 1-1 Mum's Pride donned in the Jules colours. Alleyway 3 back on the inside. 4 back Springbank Sam, then 1 over to Moon. King Denny being patiently handled by Mark Purden. Flying Icer last. 30 and 5 the second quarter. Master Lavros into the back. A length and a quarter up on the outside. Dr. Hook around Stent, who's trotting boldly in the trail, and will have a beautiful shot at Master Lavros in the home straight. Alleyway 3 back. Then Mum's Pride. Springbank Sam getting up on the nickel on the inside as Flying Icer gets around. 1 over to Moon. And King Denny 500 to go. They sweep across the showgrounds turn their final time in the Can-Am Row Cup for 2015. Master Lavros a length and a half, third quarter in 29.9. Stent on his back, Mum's Pride running on, then Alleyway, one over to Moon and King Denny and Springbank Sam. Master Lavros comes for home. Stent, which way will he go? Passing lane outside, passing lane he comes, then Mum's Pride and Alleyway. It's Master Lavros. Stent opens up strongly, 100 to go. Master Lavros, Stent comes hard. Master Lavros defending his title greatly, but Stent the Millionaire drives and wins. He breaks his 2 mile hoodoo and he gets the Can-Am Row Cup. Stent to beat out Master Lavros, gallant in defeat. They were followed by Alleyway, one over to Moon and Springbank Sam, King Denny and Mum's Pride. Further back in the field then, as they've gone by, was Flying Ice, a Dr. Hook, and Kasler galloped through the home straight final time. Looks like she's been pulled up, as too has Shimon, and 4:03.5 was the time, and the final quarter in 28 seconds. And Stent, he's a millionaire and he's got one of the races. I know Trevor Casey would love this trophy on the mantelpiece. He's got it. Stent over Master Lavros. Gutsy defending his title. Alleyway for third. One over to Moon fourth, just in front of King Denny. 2015 Can-Am Row Cup to our newest millionaire, Trevor Casey, the owner. Colin and Julie De Philippi. Colin doing the driving, trailed the right horse, passing lane, and they get the 2 mile spoils tonight.
Official placings in race 9, the Group 1 2015 Can-Am Row Cup. 362, 10, 4, 5. 362, 10, 4, 5. Horse 3, Stent, trotted the 3,200 metres in 4:03.60. Mile rate of 22.5. Last 857.9. The 428. The margins ahead, 2 3/4 lengths, 4 lengths. 362, 10, 4, 5, race 9, the 2015 Can-Am Row Cup, Group 1.
Colin De Philippi, that has got to be immensely satisfying.
Oh, without a doubt, Greg, yeah, it's just top the season off, and yeah, real proud of the horse.
Look, it's been an amazing run for him, but the queries were out there over the 3,200, but you were never going to be in agreement with that, and he's proved it tonight.
Oh no, I stay in a bridge, and every good horse I've ever driven can go any distance. It's just how you drive them, Greg, I think.
Look, you've had some terrific battles with Master Lavros over the last couple of seasons, and man, he took some pegging back tonight, didn't he?
Oh, to his credit, yeah, he did. I made him do a wee bit early, and yeah, I was holding my breath all the way down the straight. Yeah.
Pretty emotional time for you, I know, getting this win with this guy. I know you've won this race before with So Long Eden. To train this horse with your wife Julie will mean a heck of a lot.
Yeah, my father won this race about 40 years ago, Greg, so to do it myself, I'm wrapped.
Yeah, I think you're talking about a horse called CR, so congratulations to you. Trevor Casey wants to congratulate you. Well done, Colin.
Thanks, Greg.
2015 Can-Am Row Cup, and Stent back at the head of the field with a fanfare. He picks up a performance incentive bonus tonight to Lucas Petro down there for a Can-Am. Auckland Trotting Club Director Peter Smith. Trevor Casey, the owner, and his 15th victory this season. Stent, Dream Vacation, Belgillion, 6-year-old Bay Gelding. Colin and Julie De Philippi trained at Lincoln. Colin doing the driving, bred by Trevor Casey along with the Bowdens, MJ and Mrs. JM. Our newest millionaire to the ranks, and that's win 28 at start 60 tonight for this wonderful square gator, and his name Stent. Master Lavros, last year's winner. He defends his title valiantly tonight. Sundon, Lavra Noblesse, 6-year-old Bay Gelding. Kipros Kotsik is the owner. Mark Jones, the trainer-driver. Out of Burnham and 2 Alleyway for third. A Monarchy No Way, 6-year-old Bay Gelding. Raced by N.A. Skinner, Miss J.A. Ward, D.A. Ward and G.J. McMaster. Neville Skinner trained at Winton and Matthew Williamson. 3 Stent at $2.30 and $1.20, $2.30 and $1.20. 6 Master Lavros $1.90, $1.90, and 2 Alleyway at $3.20, $3.20. The Quinella returns $5.70, $5.70. The Trifecta at $100.80, $100.80. The first 4 $1,148.30. $1,148.30. 12 and 3 in the double at $43.10, $43.10. 12 and 6 in the concession, $21.50, $21.50. And pick 6 with 2 legs remaining. There are 131.34 live units remaining in pick 6, 131.34. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go down for the official presentation for the Can-Am Rowe Cup for 2015. We welcome to the microphone Michael Guerin. Owner Trevor Casey's won a lot of big races through Australasia the last couple of years, Michael, but I reckon this cup on the mantelpiece will mean something tonight.
It surely will. It's the little cup he gets to keep. The big Rowe Cup's too big to even bring out here. It's one of the great trophies in harness racing, and this is one of the great horses. Of course, he's over the $1 million in stakes. This was the one he needed to secure himself as not just an incredible speedster, but of course a great stayer, and he did beat the defending champion. You can't do more, and he is certain to be named our Trotter of the Year. It's one of our great races, so we welcome forward from the Auckland Trotting Club, from the Board of Directors, Mr. Peter Smith, to help in the presentation for the Can-Am Rowe Cup. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Michael. It's my great pleasure on behalf of the board to congratulate the connections of Stent, our champion trotter, Trevor Casey, one of our leading owners, and Colin DeFilippi, one of our great trainers and drivers. It was a stirring finish to a wonderful race. I think for those of us that love the trotter, tonight is really the Rowe Cup night, and we all look forward to Rowe Cup night. And I'm sure Lucas Petru and the team from Can-Am Construction also look forward to Rowe Cup night because they have been sponsoring this race for several years, and we're very, very grateful to them. So without further ado, I'd like Lucas to come forward with his co-owner Nick Page and make the presentation to the owners.
Thank you, Peter. It has been a great race and the best trotter won, and it gives me great pleasure to present this trophy to Trotter.
I'd like to thank the sponsors, Can-Am Construction. It's one of my races I've always wanted to win. Stent, he was just absolutely marvellous. He's never gone a bad race. Colin and Julie have done a fantastic job with him right through his career. He's had a couple of little mishaps along the way, but hey, when he comes to the races, he's here to do his best, and he always has. So, Colin, I'd also, on behalf of Colin, like to thank Mick Guerin for saying this horse can't stay. Mick, he just trotted 4:3.5 for 2 miles. I think you'll have to correct your statement. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Trevor. Happy to be wrong, and congratulations to you and the owners of Stent. Of course, Trevor also shares in the ownership of Sky Major, who won our messenger just 35 minutes ago. That's the Group 1's done here at Alexandra Park. Victory photos going on. Stent certain to be named Trotter of the Year. Could he possibly win Horse of the Year over our Auckland Cup champion Chris and Me, or in fact the New Zealand Cup champion Adore Me? Those awards handed out on August the 8th. For more information about them, check out hrnz.co.nz. We trust you're enjoying your night here at Alexandra Park. 2 races to go. If you've had a few beers or a few wines and enjoyed the hospitality, well, don't be scared to leave the car here. There's security here all night. You can pick it up in the morning. The cafe opens for breakfast from 7 o'clock. There are co-op taxis behind the main stand from now onwards to take you home or into town, but make sure you don't drink and drive. We are responsible alcohol hosts here at Alexandra Park. Thanks for being part of our night. I hope you enjoyed the last 2. Hope you're making $1. Good race coming up next. Lancewood Lizzie is the favourite. I give Aliente a good chance of beating her. And as I said, get home safely. Most importantly, shortly, Aaron White will call the horses onto the track for the 10th on the card.
Quarters. Just waiting for the split time. The first time there, 6:91. The overall time, 17:56. Run home, 10:60. And big performance here, Scott No Mates. Only recently just come up to Class 4. Good run here last Friday. And backs it up with a very good win here by Collision. Ula Cool for David Scott and Nathan Newdy. The 4, Serena Rose to 2nd. And Big Time Dasher will grab that 3rd placing over the 1, Rock On Sprite, getting home for that 4th placing. Wraps up a good night's racing here at Hattrick Raceway for the Wanganui Greyhound Racing Club. Back in action here on Monday. Mark Rosanowski will be back with you. 1 o'clock start on Monday afternoon, as I said earlier, Palmerston North on Wednesday. On behalf of the hard-working team here on course, hope your Anzac Day services go very well there tomorrow. Looking forward to all the good racing on both sides of the Tasman. Thanks for your company, Brendan. You have yourself a good weekend, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, you too, Daryl, and good calling there at Hattrick. And Scott No Mates for Davy Boy Scott, but on to you with winning the last on the program with Scott No Mates and Nathan Newdy. $3.90 and $1.40. $1.50, $3.80. Quinella has paid $7.40. Trifecta at $116.40, and the first 4 at $482.20. Double, treble, quaddy, place 6. Double 10.30, concession at $3.50. Treble 126 at $45.10. Quaddy 6126 at $576.20, and the place 6 has paid $22.40. Next live race will be back at Alexandra Park. We have 2 races remaining there. Favourite here is Lancewood Lizzie for David Butcher at $1.80 and $1.05. This one for Barry Purdon, $1.90 at this stage on the tote. The Fascinator, $3.80 and $1.80 for Tony Herlihy. She was beaten in behind Willow and didn't exactly get a lot of favours on that occasion, and 2 starts ago was nice too. Atlante, number 2 for Zach Butcher and also Barry Purdon at $3.80 and $1.70. With the interest being that Zach has taken the drive on this one in front of Lancewood Lizzie. Of course, a horse he has had a major association with as well. And then you've got Rock and Ruby at around $13 is the only one that's sort of been specced outside of the 3 well-favoured runners. 11 minutes out from start time. Race number 10, 131.34 live units as well. In search of a pick 6, they got to around $52,000.
Bettor's Delight, sire of champion New Zealand mare
Magnus Benroe Northern Mares Classic, a listed event. Runners heading out. Magnus Benroe, of course, celebrating 70 years in business, selling home appliances in Auckland since 1945, stocking all the leading brands, Fisher & Paykel, Panasonic, Electrolux, Westinghouse, Simpson, Samsung, ASCO, Sony, LG, DeLonghi, Miele, Imabesa, Hire, Sharp, Bosch, Braun, Breville, Nespresso, Mitsubishi and Kenwood Sunbeam Award. If it's home appliances you're looking for, Magnus Benroe are the team to see. The Old Store, 117 Great South Road in Green Lane, also across on Constellation Drive, Mairangi Bay, and the Hub Botany Downs, open 8:30 till 5:30, Monday to Friday, Saturday 9 till 2, Sunday 10 till 3, public holidays 10 till 3. But of course, tomorrow, being Anzac Day, of course, won't be open until 1 o'clock. Delivery 7 days. Visit the website magnusbenroe.co.nz or call John and the team in the Old Store here in Green Lane, 5200 397. 1 Chili's Just a Strutter, Ricky May, 32 and 11. 2 Aliente, Zach Butcher, 370, 190. 3 The Fascinator, Tony Hurley, 440. 90 cents. 4 Rock and Ruby, Brent Mangos, 15 and 8.90. 5 Sweetheart, Scott Phelan, 27 and 10. 6 Marlou, Philip Butcher, 25 and 11. 7 Lancewood Lizzie, David Butcher, 190. 230 back for the place at this stage. Only the 2-place dividends available in the Magnus Benroe Northern Mares Classic at listed level. First leg of the final double. And pick 6 there are 131.34 with 2 legs to go. Good luck with your bets in race 10.
Just talking to some of the owners of Sky Major tonight, they were apprehensive of whether this horse would get to Ashburton at the end of next month for the Jewels. They so wanted to see their horse go around for the 3rd time and do something special, and they get their opportunity now. He's earned enough dollars to make that Jewels field, and he adds so much interest into the race. So there's a lot to talk about. We'll do that on Wednesday night at 8:30 on the box seat. Relive what has been a very big night. 4 Group 1s at Alexandra Park. And I must say, decent crowd on track too to see what has been some fantastic racing under the ribbon of light. There's our favourite for race number 10 tonight. Her name is Lancewood Lizzie. David Butcher's already stolen one drive off Zach tonight with Start Dreaming defeating Democrat Party. He takes the drive tonight on Lancewood Lizzie, the mare by Better's Delight. She raced last week behind Mossdale Connor in the Noel Taylor Mile, the Taylor Mile, and even though she only ran midfield, she ran a last mile and took over 152 and a tick. Big run, Lancewood Lizzie, and I thought she is a chance tonight. And saying that, I found one to beat her, and it's runner number 3, the Fascinator. When I looked at her run last week, I thought it was a super effort. She was back in the field. She had no right to finish as close as she did. They ran home in some really quick last quarter behind Willow, and I thought she made up at least 4 or 5 lengths. Now, Tony Hurley, he takes the drive on the Fascinator tonight, a mare that he's had a great affiliation with. The second 2 starts ago was on a 155 mile at Addington. She's got the gate speed to get across them here, and I think that's the key to the race. If she gets across Aliente and Chili's Just a Strutter, then she's got options. She can either stay there or hand to Lancewood Lizzie or Rock and Ruby, and I reckon she's a great each-way chance, the Fascinator. She was $4.80 this morning, got as short as $3.40. She's steadied at $4 now, the horse in the black with the white star, the Fascinator. Greg O'Connor joins me now, just talking about the Rowe Cup, Greg. Talking about end-of-year awards. He'll get Trotter of the Year, but he's a chance of getting Horse of the Year.
Yeah, look, I think Chris and me will get that title, courtesy of winning the Easter Cup, off the back of, well, you start going through his victories in the Victoria Cup, you talk about his Miracle Mile, you talk about his free-for-all win. If he hadn't have done all of that, Stent could quite clearly be the Horse of the Year, but yeah, I think Chris and me will take that title, but what a magnificent season.
Well, any other year. Any other year, 6 Group 1s would get you Horse of the Year.
And you could hear the emotion emotion. I've never heard that in covering harness racing for the last 20 years. Colin De Philippi with that much emotion. His father winning the race, obviously training in partnership with his wife Julie, and this horse means so much to him. And he spoke quite often about how Trevor Casey's been a good owner to train for. He's never told him what to do with the horse, never criticised him about the way he handled it, particularly as an early racehorse at 3 and then 4. He's looked after him, and the benefits of that are being seen from this year's performances. To win half a dozen Group 1s at any stage of your career is quite remarkable. To do it right throughout your career, let alone in one season.
He's a millionaire trotter, Stent, now, and hey, he's only a 6-year-old too, so he's got another 24 months at least in him, Greg. He could well and truly get to that 2 million.
And what about Mark Jones? The one horse, the only horse in the Rowe Cup you didn't want on your back. Did you see how hard he made him work early to get the lead? And Colin knows Master Lavros so well. He's had so many good battles with him. Goes all the way back to Kaikoura a couple of years ago when they had a decent sort of a war there, and what a tremendous Group 1 it was tonight.
Well, it was.
Two great horses.
It was. As I say, only good horses win this race, and we saw it again tonight. He's broken Icanduzit's race record by nearly a second and a half. So good on Trevor Case and good on Colin and Julie De Philippi. Stent, 2 miles. He's got a strong one tonight.
It's gone. The hoodoo's gone, that's for sure. There's Chile's Just a Strutter. Ian Small and Ricky May combined pretty long in the market. Okay, how do we play this race? Do we take the mere factor that Lancewood Lizzie was good enough to go round at an Auckland Cup? There's not another horse in this field that is capable of doing that. Not at this stage anyway. So does that make her the winner?
I was a little bit disappointed in her run last week. People say, hey, look at the sectional. She went 153. Great run under the circumstances against the best 4. The concern I was at the 400 metre mark after being in the trail. Greg, she just battled the last bit. Can she win the race? Absolutely. She's the best mare in the race. I just wonder whether a horse like the Fascinator, who's still on the up and up, and maybe early leader here, could sit on her back and beat her home. I thought she was a great each-way chance. She's not past the post, Lancewood Lizzie, tonight. I thought 3 the Fascinator, an each-way chance to beat the favourite. Aliante was great last week. We talked to Zach Butcher earlier in the night. He said, listen, this mare's improving. Hey, I get a chance to beat my dad tonight and reverse what happened earlier in the night with Aliante. I think best of the rest, the Rock and Ruby.
All right, let's get to Aaron White for Group 1. So much to talk about, Aaron. We'll get that opportunity on the box seat on Wednesday evening, 8:30 TAB Trackside 1. But you get your opportunity now. How's it been from your vantage point here at Alexandra Park?
Oh, sensational. Always great to call Group 1 races, especially Rowe Cup. And growing up, the Auckland Cup and the Rowe Cup were the 2 races that it was a must to be out here to watch those races and to get to call a contest like that. The Millionaire Stent running down last year's winner, Master Lavros, simply sensational. Sky Major called him home in the Jewels last year. Great to see him roll over the top to get him into the Jewels this year to take on, of course, to try and pick up his 3rd Jewels title. Dream About Me. She was very good in our Group 1 to remain unbeaten, the full sister to Aliante in this race. And Speeding Spur, yes, he is the best staying 3-year-old that we've got in the country in the square gating game. And he showed that again tonight with a phenomenal 27-7 final quarter and 56-3 final half. Lancewood Lizzie, well, I can't believe the money around her. $1.90, $2.50 the place. There's only the 2 place dividends. The last time Lancewood Lizzie came up against these mares, she beat Averil's Quest by a length and a half. There was 5 lengths back to the Fascinator. That was in the Charles Roberts North Island Standardbred Breeders Association Stakes. There's no Averil's Quest in this race. Lancewood Lizzie, she's going to get an uncontested lead here. They'll sprint the final half in this race, probably around the 56. Can't believe it. She's $1.80 with the bookies. In the Nisbah Stakes, she went round $1.40. She's the Franklin Cup winner. Clearly on top for me. 3, the Fascinator. She's well in the mix. Tony Hurley with the 4, Rock and Ruby. I think the 22 will suit her better than the 17 did last week. At 2, Aliante, the sister to Dream About Me and the half-sister to Chris and Me. Well, she has to be in the mix from the draw, but I can't see them beating Lancewood Lizzie tonight.
Thanks for that, Aaron, and congratulations on your calls, particularly around those Group 1s tonight of the highest order. He's labelling Lancewood Lizzie here.
Oh, she's the best mare in the race, Greg, as I say.
Is she just to get off the gate and lead and win?
No, I don't think she is. Her gate speed's great, but there is a couple of quick ones inside her here, and I reckon Tony Hurley will have a decent crack in leading at least early with the Fascinator. Oh, will he handle Lancewood Lizzie? Absolutely, but I do think he may be your early leader early on. Money come for Stent in that last race, Greg. Just to summarise, we were so busy earlier on. They had 4 $5,000 bets on Stent at 270, 250 and 240. Many happy punters collect on the Group 1 Glory winner in Stent.
Yeah, terrific race. The Rowe Cup, it'll go down in history as one of the greats, that is for sure. There's Aliante. We've seen that breeding to the 4. Better's Delight out of Splendid Dreams, not only tonight, but over the last couple of seasons.
131 live, just quickly looking through, Greg. 131 live going into the 5th leg of Pick 6. If you're one of those lucky people to be live.
In the Group 1 Taylor Mile, prior to that she was in the Auckland Cup, and prior to that she was winning the Charles Roberts North Island Standard Breeders Association Stakes. Thanks, Craig. And the runners in behind the yellow bar arm for a listed contest here. Magnus Benroe Northern Mears Classic over the 2200. Lancewood Lizzie, the Franklin Cup winner, and the North Island Standard Breeders Association Charles Roberts Stakes winner. She'll start the favourite. Outside of the front, David Butcher. Set and ready. Green light activated by starter Frank Phelan, they're off. And Rockin' Ruby first off the gate over Aliente. Marlou will come forward. The Fascinator taken back. Chili's Just a Strutter to 3 back on the marker line. Sweetheart. Lancewood Lizzie given plenty of time. She goes back to the tail for DJB. Stables corner first occasion. Rockin' Ruby and Mango lead Aliente. Marlou third and parked around Chili's Just a Strutter. 1-1 the Fascinator in the Iceman Tony Hurley, tracked up by Sweetheart. And Lancewood Lizzie back last. So the mares into the back in the Magnus Benroe Northern Mares Classic listed race. And Rockin' Ruby nicely along in front. She's getting a very easy lead here. Aliente in the trail, then Marlou, Chili's Just a Strutter. Now the Fascinator first to go for the Iceman. Sweetheart back and Lancewood Lizzie lead time 45 seconds. No wonder Hurley wanted to go and get the front, get a bit of tempo into the race, and he does that now with the Fascinator. Away by 3, Rockin' Ruby. 3 back on the inside, Aliente. Marlou now still left parked. In fact, we'll find 1-1 cover as Aliente's come away from the inside. Sweetheart will come forward 3 wide. Lancewood Lizzie to track her into the race. Chili's Just a Strutter on the inside. In fact, no, Lancewood Lizzie will stay in, so DJB is going to drive her very cold tonight, Lancewood Lizzie. 30.8 was the opening quarter. The Fascinator leads from Sweetheart up on the outside, and Rockin' Ruby in the trail. 1-1 Aliente. Chili's Just a Strutter and Ricky May 3 back on the inside. Judge Bell 1 to go, then Marlou, Phil Butcher. Lancewood Lizzie under a great rain, back at the tail. Stables corner final time and a half a dozen lengths off the Fascinator, who works around past the 900. Over Sweetheart and a Rockin' Ruby in the trail. Aliente 1-1 for Zach Butcher. Chili's Just a Strutter on the inside. They're followed by Marlou. And still back last is Lancewood Lizzie, 31-1 the second quarter. The Fascinator through the back. Rockin' Ruby and Mango in the trail, and sitting parked is Sweetheart, Scott Field, and then Chili's Just a Strutter, Aliente, Marlou. Lancewood Lizzie, she's finally asked to come from the back now by David. Zach's about to plant her out 4 wide, I'd say, out of the 1-1 with Aliente. The Fascinator off the back over Sweetheart, Rockin' Ruby. Aliente in the 1-1 ready to be stoked up as Lancewood Lizzie comes up out 3 and 4 wide now. There followed Chili's Just a Strutter and Marlou, quarter down the back, 29-4. The Fascinator for home. Rockin' Ruby, Sweetheart, Aliente, Lancewood Lizzie. She's let down now. The Fascinator a length and a half. Rockin' Ruby, Aliente, Lancewood Lizzie can't get to the Fascinator, who's a length in front. Rockin' Ruby, Lancewood Lizzie really starting to rush late, but the Fascinator too good. Rockin' Ruby just second in front of Lancewood Lizzie. Aliente, Sweetheart, they were followed in then by Marlou and Chili's Just a Strutter. 243.8. 27.3 was the final quarter, 56.7 the half. The Fascinator, the Iceman Tony Hurley, settled 3 back in the running with a 45 lead time. He knew he had to go and get the front. He did that. Still no attacks came. And he's out-sprinted Rockin' Ruby and Lancewood Lizzie to pick up the listed Magnus Benroe Mears, Northern Mears Classic. Aliente for a fourth in front of Sweetheart. The Fascinator, the Better's Delight mare, will get the win. That's the third victory on the program tonight too for a Better's Delight.
Official placings in race 10, the listed Magnus Benroe Northern Mares Classic. 347-256. 347-256. Horse 3, the Fascinator, paced the 2200 metres in 243.83. A mile rate of 159.8. Last 856.7 to 427.3. The margins are neck, a half head, 2 lengths. 347-256, race 10, the listed Magnus Benroe Northern Mares Classic.
Three, the Fascinator back at the head of the field, takes the listed Magnus Benroe Northern Mares Classic. Seventh victory at start 34, the Speed Series winner too. The Fascinator back at the head of the field. The Iceman Tony Hurley with the Mitavite Black Bike back into the victory circle, greeted by Johnny Magnus and Auckland Trotting Club steward Roger Barnes. Woodland Stud sponsor driver too is Tony, and Woodland Stud picking up another victory with their breed with Better's Delight. Impish this time, a black 5-year-old mare, Mrs. N.J. Weston, Roy Thompson, along with P.J. Hales, S.H. Matthews, Mrs. L.G. Halligan and Suzanne Hurley, the owners there. Peter Hales in the ownership with the Fascinator, and gets the job done in good fashion too. The Fascinator, bred by Croon Bloodstock Limited. The Better's Delight mare making it the third on the program tonight for a Super Sire Better's Delight. 4, Rockin' Ruby, Mark 3, Doug's Choice Bay, 4-year-old mare for LD and Mrs. B.M. Pettifer, Brent Mangos trained and driven from Pukekohe, and 7, Lancewood Lizzie, Better's Delight Bay, 4-year-old mare out of Camwood Elsie. Mrs. L.P. Wood and G.A. Chitty, the owners, Barry Purden trained at Clevedon, and David Butcher. The Fascinator will return $5.20, $1.70, $5.21.74. Rockin' Ruby at $3.80, $3.80. 7, Lancewood Lizzie, no third. Quinella $25.90, $25.90. Trifecta $80.60, $80.60. First 4, $205.10, $205.10. 31.34 live in pick 6, 31.34 live going into the last race.
$11 for Young Jackson, who's had support. So, very strong betting race. Chica Caliente moves up. Eddie would go to get set, and that will leave one more out of the machine. That's Lisa Beale. Chica Caliente on track at 350, but Young Jackson continues to firm up on course. Now the Tony Noonan prepared Lisa Beale about to move up by Sava Beale. Jake may have to get out of the saddle, not wanting to go forward. Other runners stand up well. That rain has disappeared. Huge weekend coming up with the Pakenham Cup and a monster program there on Sunday. Boy, oh boy, what a meeting that is. And the first race, the maiden, is as good a maiden as you'll see this time of the year anywhere. A lot of chances. So waiting now for Lisa Beale riderless. $21 chance on track to move in. Young Jackson continues to come in on track, is now down to $9.50 from 14. So Lisa Beale comes up to the back of the gate for the Procon development. Super Vobis funding, and the favourite is Super Vobis qualified. Chica Caliente. Nolan rides for Moody. In a race of a bit of depth here. Empire of the Sun stood well. Starters up. Signal given, and they're off. Gainsford no speed, and Miss Titania missed the start. She's going to go back to the tail of the field on jumping away. Fast out Empire of the Sun from Obsolete. Eddie Would Go began very quickly, and so too did Young Jackson, fourth the outside. Then came Gamora, being passed by Shandara, and Faithful Act making ground. A length and a half, Chica Caliente. They were followed on the fence, getting out of its ground by Ace King. Miss Titanium slow out. She's got a task now, third last. 2 lengths for the back is Lisa Beale, and at the tail is Gainsford, 12 off the leader. The leader to the bend is Obsolete narrowly. Going up to join it on the outside is Empire of the Sun, and Empire of the Sun takes the lead and runs for home on the corner. Young Jackson running on pretty well from Eddie Would Go, and pulled out is Chica Caliente with Gamora. Empire of the Sun the front runner, and Shandara is trying to weave a passage up on the fences. Eddie Would Go moves up and hits the lead. Empire of the Sun comes back, but Eddie's got his nose in front, and Eddie Would Go beats Empire of the Sun and Shandara from Chica Caliente. They were followed by Gamora, Young Jackson, behind those Miss Titanium, Lisa Beale, then Faithful Act. They were followed by Gainsford, Ace King, and at the tail Obsolete folded up.
The best named horse of the night, Eddie Would Go, gets in off a Forgive Run at Lakeside on speed tonight and had to tough it out. So looked in a bit of bother, I reckon, at the 200. Responded well to riding late and got the job done at big odds here, 26-31. There's some punters though that are happy because they were supported back into $26. So pays.
Yeah, good to see Daniel Stackhouse get success there in the fourth on the program with Eddie Would Go. He had a good quote to it around 20s. It'd be 2, 6, 12 and 5, those numbers across the line. Right, we're going to make our way to Singapore for the first on their program tonight. Of course, we'll be continuing on with our simulcast out of Singapore this evening as well, right through to their last race tonight at 20 minutes past 2. Teams on track. Favourite for the first is Rainbow Star with the fixed odds at $4.60 and $1.75. Let's get on track.
Tomorrow, lunchtime traditional, Collingwood and Essendon. If it was an Anzac Day, no one would even watch probably, but it is a traditionally big game. So we're looking forward to that as well. Now they're behind the gates. This is the running of race number 1. Your team plays on Sunday morning?
Yes, I've finally made my mind up.
Good boy.
Do you want to tell everyone? Should I?
No.
Perth, they come from Perth. I watched them play when we were off last weekend. I was just so impressed with the way that they fought on and came back at the end of the spirit. So the Eagles, I'm going for.
Good boy.
You can lock that one in.
Thank you. So they are behind the gates, and there's Mzaki just toweling off the side of Rainbow Star. He doesn't want any sweat on the reins. Not sure he'll be gripping onto them too hard. They'll sort of be extended because he'll be pushing it forward. But nonetheless, you need a good grip on the reins, and it's one of the first things that a lot of the riders do, towel off the neck area of the horse and try and keep as much grip on the reins as possible. You'll see almost without exception riders with gloves here in Singapore because of the sticky conditions, the wet conditions. not so much for the rain, but because of the perspiration on the horses. So they're behind the gates. This is the running of race number 1, the first of the night. The highlight of the weekend, of course, is Sunday racing, and it is an outstanding card. We've got a Group 1, 2 and 3 on the program, and a super support program as well. 11 races coming up on Sunday afternoon, and probably the best sprint we've seen in Singapore for a long time, with Zach Spirit and Emperor Max both placed in the Chris Flyer last year. Faultless, who's 3 from 3 first up. Of course, War Affair, the horse of the year. Outstanding lineup. Kiwi Karma, the 3-year-old, for good measure. So that's coming up on Sunday afternoon. Lining up here for race number 1, Gareth, the main ones in the market.
Yeah, the main ones. The 9's gone out. Still favourite though, $21. Next best is the 4, who's coming for support. Full Meaning, currently trading at $23. The 1/3 Prince, pretty stable, $24, and the 8 at 97 Success at $35. 3 State Generals at 42 at $63 and better. Let's go upstairs and join Matt for the first of the evening.
Good on you, Gareth. So they're getting set. It's going to be an amazing day of racing on Sunday with so many big names. A lot of award winners there as well when you think about it. Keshwar was our champion stayer. War Affair, of course, won multiple awards. Zach Spirit was our champion sprinter. They're all going around. I guess you could argue that as far as the 3-year-old ranks go at the moment, we may well just have the best 3-year-old in Kiwi Karma, but I'm sure Affleck might have something to say about that in time. But at the moment, Kiwi Karma, she's going very well. Now, Third Prince moves in. $25 for Third Prince, $22 for Rainbow Star. Very open here. Appellation joins the field and waiting on Steed Expedite. So 1,100 metres for the opener. Polytrack racing right through the night. $23 for number 9, $24 for the 4 here. Full Meaning. And we're just about right to run. All set. And they're away and racing now, and Rainbow Star, the favourite, has missed the start by about 3 lengths, so a terrible start for favourite putters in the early stages. State General has begun very well and is up towards the lead here, and now Follow the King is going forward. Then Super Joy, Irrepressible, Full Meaning, and then came out wide as they settle down is Sun Empire, centre field from Steed Expedite. Behind those in turn then 97 Success. Rainbow Star, ridden for luck, is getting up on the inside there for Zaki. A long way back in the race then we've got Tricratic with Third Prince and Appellation back towards the tail, but it's Follow the King who leads out from State General, and also Irrepressible as they turn for home. Then Full Meaning, who's close enough to pounce as they turn. He's just trying to edge his way out Munro. Sun Empire knocking with him. Then Rainbow Star, who's staying near the rails. Down the outside is Steed Expedite running on fairly well, and so too 97 Success, and further back then Third Prince. Slogging go here. Irrepressible got the front. Super Joy driving in it, and so too is Steed Expedite, and down the outside is 97 Success. A poor way go, but 97 Success has hit the front and he's just going to win. 97 Success has beaten Steed Expedite, and third Super Joy from Irrepressible, and then we had Third Prince, and close up in that bunch Tricratic. Further back then to Follow the King, who weakened. Full Meaning didn't come on. Appellation, Rainbow Star, that was a nightmare at the start for it, and a long way back Sun Empire, and after sitting on the pace, State General has knocked up pretty quickly. Well, it's gone off at pretty good price, I think. This one, number 8, $40.15. As I said, I didn't have him in my tips initially, but we put him in there at the last minute. I do think, and I don't think Leslie Kerr was off the mark by giving him a shot at a mile last time, but I don't think he ran the mile out. And back in trip here, and ridden with a bit of patience from a wide stall as well. He's run on very well. 1:5.7 is pretty quick for this grade of horse. A maiden, 1:5.7, but don't forget we did have about an hour of rain there only a couple of hours ago, and that's clearly aided this horse, 97 Success. He's always had a bit of talent, not long been with Leslie Kerr, and Leslie gets the win. The horses raced by 97 stable have gone well. They've run first and third, and Steed Expedite has improved. There was a good run from him, so he's been an improver. 8, 10, 7 and 6. And Irrepressible's got 4th, and 5th in number 1, Third Prince. So a few of the runners making ground have fared well here. 8, 10, 7, 6 and 1. Well, I don't know if I'll be tipping a best bet and a maiden again. Rainbow Star, that lasted about 1 second, and that was all over for him. So 8, 10, 7 and 6, a neck by a half, 1.5.70, and a good competitive finish. The winner for Leslie Koo by a line out of Real Gem. 97 stable get the win. Leslie Koo and Nurish Jaglao continuing on his good run of form in 2015. Second goes the way of number 10, and that is Steed Expedite for John O'Hara and F. Sam.
So that's the first there at Kranji, Singapore, and it is numbers 8, 10 and 7. And the trifecta has terminated. It's paid the pool. $9.40, $2.80, $10.80, $4.30. The Quinella has paid $157.50, and there is the trifecta, $30,973.80. I'll just have a quick look to see what was in that trifecta pool, and probably someone's got 10% of it maybe. What was there, 1,800 in the pool, so 5% tickets jagged it in the first there out of Singapore. And then the fourth out of Cranbourne, 2, 6, 12 and 8, $20.80 and $5.70, $2.70, $2.40. 2, 6 Quinellas paid $88.90, trifecta $1,560, and the first four $17,735.90. Completed a treble, 2, 5 and 2, $1,408.10. Here we are for the final time at Alexandra Park, and a night the patrons surely have enjoyed. Gee, the hardest racing has been fantastic there out of the park. And if you're live in the pick 6, the Will Pays, let's have a quick look at them, are quite handy as well. Willow is the favourite, and favourite with the pick 6 as well. 31.34 live units in the pick 6, and Willow at this stage is $3,322. Favourite in pick 6, Ideal Bell, is at $6,118. Darcy at $14,128. I'll work through the other two. $51,000 for the 1, $54,000 for the 2, and Kippenberger at $54,000 as well, paying the pool. 7 minutes out from start time, boys, and gee, what a night it's been. 4 Group 1s on the program out of the park.
Yeah, it certainly has been, Brendan. Hope you've enjoyed the cover. It's been great to be part of it, and the racing throughout this carnival, Craig Thompson, arguably as good as I've seen in the last, well, good 5 years anyway.
Yeah, I was just actually talking to one of the committeemen of the Auckland Trotting Club, and I said to them, listen, it's been a great carnival. I thought last week was good. This week, again, plenty of racing, plenty of money shared around between different trainers, Greg. The Southern has been great. They've had a wonderful campaign. Obviously, Mossdale Connor, the Messenger was taken out by Sky Major, but it's been shared around by numerous trainers. I think the times have been good. The track's been in wonderful condition.
Yeah, it certainly has. Natalie Rasmussen co-trains Willow, of course, with her partner Mark Purden, and she steers her once again tonight. Here's what she had to say earlier in the evening about this very good 4-year-old mare. I think brave's a fair enough word to describe Willow, because, gee, she was game last week, wasn't she?
Oh, she's a good girl. She never really puts in a bad race. You know, she's just a good all-round mare. She's quick, she's strong, she tries hard, she can sit and sprint, she can do everything. So tonight's a standing start and she's off the back mark, but I'm sure that won't matter. It's over a bit of distance, so she's a good stayer as well. So I give her a big chance. It's only a small field, and they're sometimes funny run races, but she'll try hard.
Natalie Rasmussen, appreciate her time throughout the evening tonight, giving us an insight into the All-Stars team. Look, she's had a couple of standing starts. That one miss came at Motukarara when she was wide on the track and just couldn't get in from 3 wide, so I disregard that. The horse clearly for her to beat tonight is Ideal Bell, the Oaks winner.
Yeah, she's back after a very disappointing 6-2 starts ago, Greg, and the second last start behind Willow was a lot better. She may have to find another length to beat her home again tonight. It's an interesting race because there's 2 horses off the front. One of them's only had 1 standing start, and that's Strike the Golden. He actually stepped in gallop last week, and then, of course, first home, we know he's a rocket of a beginner, but he had his chance in front last week, first home. So it's a tricky race. Let's have a look at the horse on screen at the moment. He's the full brother to Gold Ace. He's got the family ability. He was very, very good in winning here 3 starts ago, Greg, and last start he looked like he began so quickly. He actually went out of his gear after 50 metres.
Yeah, look, he really is talented. Okay, that was disappointing last time, but his second behind Cha-Ching was good, and provided he steps away okay. And it'll be interesting for this 3-year-old because there's horses directly behind him who are likely to step quickly, the likes of Darcy and Kippenberger. So, yeah, they'll be right on his tail early.
I think what he'll rely on is first homers are probably a good one to follow for the first probably 2,400 metres of the race.
Yeah, exactly.
The last 300 last week he was gasping a bit, but what he did do is he set them up in front. Now, if you're in the trail following it, it's going to be the place to be.
Tony Hurley looking to go race to race. Here's what he had to say about Darcy in our final event. Well, Tony, you won the Country Cups final quite nicely, thanks very much, and he brings that form here tonight.
Yeah, no, he raced good over that country meeting, and just a drop back from Auckland for a month or so for him. He had missed a bit of work going into those races. Sort of worked out good for his program, and hopefully he seems like he's come through it really good, and hopefully he'll be another one that'll be right there at the finish tonight again. He is very honest and nice big horse.
Yeah, look, it's quick for us to forget that he finished second to Dalton Bromack on Cup Day, so he's got a bit of quality himself, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's he's a nice horse and seems right back to his best with those couple of trips away and what have you. And he seems good.
And he has good standing start credentials. Of course, the latest of those was winning that Country Cups final.
I tell you what, he's been outstandingly placed, this horse. I mean, to win that $25,000 Country Cups final at Manawatu, not many trainers. Tony Hurley, worked out a plan to place him at a couple of the grass track circuits and to lead into that final. Now, I don't think the grass is ever his go, Greg, but it allowed him to get enough points to get into the final. And that was a good stake to win, $25,000 at Palmerston. And it was a nice race to win for Trevor McKee and Timmy Vince, who don't need the money, and a few of the others did.
Kippenberger there on screen to complete the night for John and Joshua Dickey. Of course, they won the Derby with Speeding Spur. There's first home. Moneybags eligible, win 3 races here at Alexandra Park. You can do that, win half a dozen, you can get the same, and that's up to $10,000 on top of the winning stake. And first home, this one out of the Telfer Garlic team, and Scott Phelan, they ventured down south last night too.
Yeah, they did. He's a horse first home that I probably thought last week he was too disappointing to back tonight. I actually liked him last week. I thought the 2,700 metres of the race would suit him. He'd step and find the front, and he had his chance from there. Tonight I couldn't have him. I do think he'll be the first one away. I think he'll be in front for a fair portion of the race. I just can't see him being there at the finish.
What about the highlight for you over the carnival, over the 2 nights? What stood out, the one race that you'll forever keep in the memory banks?
Of the carnival, I think has to be the Taylor Mile. I think because it was run so competitively, there were so multiple changes in the race, and Mosdale Connor just kept going in front, and they just kept coming looking at him, but he was too good on the night. It just shows you the difference between 1,700 metre racing and 2,700 metre racing a week later.
Yep, for sure. For mine, I know it's only been a couple of races ago, but these 2 great horses, Stent and Master Lavros, going to war was one thing. Seeing some emotion like we did from Colin DeFilippi was another, and Old Treasure having that opportunity to talk to him straight after the Road Cup.
Well, I think when you look at a guy like Colin DeFilippi, who's won so many good races, and you see him week in, week out at harness racing, at trials and at workouts, and for a guy to get that emotional on a night where he's driven so many winners, it just shows that winning a Road Cup like what happened tonight with a horse that's obviously one of his favourite meant an awful lot to him.
Absolutely, it did. Aaron White, as we come up to you for the final time over the Can-Am Road Cup Carnival, how do you line them up in our final event?
Yeah, just the half a dozen, and I'm with Willow. She was brilliant last week over the 1,700 metres. Natalie Rasmussen has to start from the 20-metre back mark, so it gives her rivals all the start, but she's quite capable to make it the hat-trick of victories tonight. 4 Ideal Bell. Well, it was good to see her bounce right back last weekend behind Willow, Zach Butcher. 3 Darcy, the Northern Country Cups champion. He won that at Manawatu. He's well in the mix for the Iceman. And 5 Kippenberger. His last 2 very good, especially in the Harwater Cup when racing home strongly behind Ideal Success and then sprinting hard to go down less than a length and behind Darcy at Manawatu last time. There was a 10-metre handicap between them on that night. They're on equal marks here tonight, Darcy and Kippenberger. 6-4, 3 and a 5 to wrap up what's been quite a magnificent night of harness racing here under the Ribbon of Lights.
Thanks for that, Aaron. Craig, the carnival wraps up. I'll be heading to Rangiora on Sunday.
Well, it's plenty of
It's
harness
classic
racing,
time.
isn't it? Of course, Sunday, Len Smith Mile Day. So looking forward to that. Plenty of interest there. And
Got some news from Australia too. I'm hearing through tonight a performance at Melton, and it's not Mai Mackenzie because she hasn't raced yet, but a performance from an expat Kiwi who's now an Australian, has won a big race over there, may well be getting the next invite to the Harness Jewels. We will announce that, amongst other things, on
box
Wednesday
seat.
night.
And of course, we'll review all the action from tonight's Group 1 action at Alexandra Park. So stay tuned to Wednesday night, 8:30 on Trackside 1.
She looks fantastic, Willow. She goes head-to-head once again with Ideal Bell. The same scenario last week. The difference here is she has to go back 10 metres. And will that be enough to stop this very talented mare by Better's Delight?
Just quickly, the ball pace for the pick 6, Greg. Better Spirits, Dream About Me, Sky Major, Stent, The Fascinator. The favourite way is with Willow, 3,300. Second favourite, Ideal Bell, at just over $6,000.
31.34 live in pick 6. Thank you, Craig. And starter Frank Phelan hits the button. The barrier strands released. Darcy Kippenberger canning away. Willow safely away, but with the two gallopers ahead, she was just balked up in her momentum for the first 50 or 60 metres of the race. Is going off to the lead as first home. From Strike the Gold, he's negotiated his second standing start a lot better than he did his first last week. Then came Ideal Bell, Kippenberger, Darcy, and the last of the half a dozen will be Willow as they sweep across the showgrounds turn their first occasion. First home, the son of Better's Delight. Scotty Phelan doing the driving, a length and a half. The 3-year-old Strike the Gold. He's got the lovely run in the trail for Simon Lawson as they work off the showgrounds turn and work down the lane. Then came Ideal Bell and Zach Butcher, Kippenberger and Joshua Dickey. Darcy, the Northern Country Cups champion, back second last for the Iceman, Tony Hurley. And back last is Willow and Natalie Rasmussen. To the judge with 2 to go. And first home leads by 2 over Strike the Gold as they run an Indian file. Then Ideal Bell third, fourth is Kippenberger, then Darcy and Willow on the stables corner, their first occasion. Still back last and 8 lengths off first home, who again is setting up a nice clip in front as he did last week at the 1800. He's away by 2.5 over Strike the Gold, Ideal Bell. Kippenberger in fourth, 2 lengths. Darcy and Willow still back last, been patiently handled by Natalie as they work through the back. The Direct Security Services pace, and they've got a mile left to go in the lead time. Clicks off in 1:31 and 1, so a gentle lead time for first home. It does look like he's getting along because he's got a long lead margin by 3 over Strike the Gold. Ideal Bell comes off the back of Strike the Gold to get around and maybe put a bit more pressure into a first home. They followed Kippenberger and Willow and Darcy. The last is again they work the showgrounds turn, and Ideal Bell's about to stride onto the lead for Zach. Over first home, Strike the Gold now 3 back on the inside for Simon Lawson. Willow the favourite. Again, she's going to have to do it tough like she did last week. She'll sit out park this time for Natalie, and the 1-1 is Darcy. And Kippenberger now away from the markers on the back of Darcy, 31 and 3 the opening quarter. Direct Security Services pace, a circuit left to go. Ideal Bell, the American Ideal mare in front. Leads by 2 from first home. Willow up on the outside. The Better's Delight mare in favourite for the contest. She sits third and parked. Strike the Gold, the 3-year-old on the inside, a son of Better's Delight. Then came Darcy and Kippenberger. He's back last, a son of McCardle. 30.8 the second quarter. Ideal Bell into the back. Over first home, Willow sitting park. Strike the Gold, 3 back on the inside. Darcy, the son of Better's Delight, in the 1-1. Kippenberger back last. As the speed really clamps on now. Well, they've got 500 to go as they come on to the showgrounds turn, and Ideal Bell a length and a quarter. Willow closes in strongly first home. In the 1-1 is Darcy. Strike the Gold reined up on the inside. Kippenberger, third quarter, 28.2. Ideal Bell with Willow right there, in these two classy mares. They swing together from first home, and Darcy, it's Ideal Bell. Willow strides up strongly on the outside. Ideal Bell, Willow first home, and down the outside is Darcy. Willow's at the front. Darcy's going to put in one giant burst on the outside, but Willow's too strong. Willow beats Darcy. Ideal Bell third, then first home Kippenberger, and Strike the Gold to be the last agreed judge. Graham McLennan tonight, 328.4. We'll trim that up with the 20 metre back mark, 26.9, 55.2 was the last half. Great Win Willow just walked up for a stride or two after the start when Darcy and Kippenberger galloped in front of her. Natalie with a no panic drive. She was left parked again. She's been brave. Darcy's flashed late for the Iceman. He'll come up about a neck short. Ideal Bell in for third and first home to make up the first four.
Official placings, race 11, the Direct Security Services Handicap pace. 634-251. 634-251. Horse 6 Willow paced the 2,700 metres from a stand and a handicap and a net time of 3:26.9. A mile rate of 23.3. Last 855.2 and the 426.9. Margins a half neck, 1 1/4 lengths, 1 length. 634-251, race 11, Direct Security Services Handicap pace.
And the fanfare for another performance incentive bonus struck tonight, this time by the connections of Willow Bill Feast. Better's Delight, 4-year-old bay mare, so the fourth victory for Super Sire Better's Delight tonight. This one out of Listen to the Rhythm was bred by Lauriston Bloodstock. Mark Purden, Natalie Rasmussen, the trainers out of Rolleston. They pick up their second victory on the program tonight, of course, taking the Group 1 spoils and the Magnus Benrose Sire Stakes 2-year-old fillies champs with Dream About Me. Willow completes her hat-trick in great style tonight too. Natalie Rasmussen doing the driving. Darrell and Rhiannon Bolton down there, part of the victory celebrations, along with Auckland Trotting Club steward in Paul Lowther. 3, Darcy second, Better's Delight, Mark and L Bay, 4-year-old gelding, TR Vince, JM Kenny, Majestic Racing Syndicate, TJ McKee, the owners, Tony Hurley, the trainer-driver, Papakura. 4, Ideal Bell for third. American Ideal Bay, 4-year-old mare out of Blistering Bell for the Auckland Trotting Club 2012 Syndicate, Barry Purden and Zach Butcher. 6 Willow to return $1.60 and $1.20, $1.60 and $1.20. 3 Darcy at $2.40 to $2.40. No third for 4 Ideal Bell. Quinella $3.30, $3.30. The trifecta $11.10. $11.10 and the first 4 $41.80, $41.80. Final double 3 and 6 at $4.10, $4.10, 3 and 3 in the concession at $5.70, $5.70. Final treble 3, 3 and 6 at $28.30, $28.30. And the late quaddie 12, 3, 3 and 6, $375.60, $375.60 for the final quaddie on the program tonight. Place 6, $48.40, $48.40. And pick 6 tonight has been struck by 16.5 winning units, 16.5 winning units in pick 6, $3,322.30. $3,322.30. We trust you've enjoyed your Autumn Trotting Carnival for 2015. We look forward to seeing you back here under the ribbon of light next Friday night, the 1st of May. Until then, from the commentary box, Aaron White bidding you all a very good evening.